Okay,
We should get some fitting music for this temple.
let's continue. I'm too lazy to actually
Okay.
find anything.
But Adam's not here.
Dun dun dun.
Sad fate.
He was never here to begin with.
Let's just hope everything's fine. Anyways, as we are slowly falling down with like Jai, who's like sinking like a rock
Whee!
to the temple. Obviously, that's a big place, and at the first glance seems completely light. So, just for the sake of like to actually do some rolls, survival and perception, if you actually want to like find what's needed and what's important in the city to make it work again.
Sure, I'll roll survival.
Yeah, I think I'll take the second perception roll. It's obviously better than the other one. I rolled 2 fucking 10s.
Survival. And...
Shameful.
Of mediocrity.
Perception. Look at that.
Well, good thing you don't get that rolls in attacks, but you have so much fucking bonuses that it probably doesn't.
Yay! My bonuses went up because I forgot a couple.
Perception.
Perception.
Nope.
I am the survivor specialist.
Okay, so
Inconceivable brew.
please stop. Because I feel knife opening in my So, luck has it that...
And I am not the survivor specialist.
Is that survival?
Man, your
Yeah.
like story of rolling nat ones on skill checks
Is that a survival check, Genkiro?
Yep.
I forgot I am underwater!
Genkiro drowned.
Even with
Holy
water breathing, he
shit,
still
that's wet.
drowns.
I'm underwater, I can't breathe. Drown.
Hold your breath, Genkiro.
We'll save you.
Okay, so luck has it that as you are slowly falling down and looking around trying to find what's needed, it's easy to find something that doesn't look like a skeleton in the completely lifeless city, because at something that once was, well, you can still recognize it, it was working like a central place, like a central market that was in the middle of the city and was like used probably for traders, for public execution, and for stuff. You see like several like standings that you can hang people. You see like cages, and in one of the stands inside of like not hanging but a cage that is like connected, like shit, I'm really forgetting proper word. That is almost like nailed down to the ground, and it's like shining, not shining, but it's like very bleak light from the runes inside of it. You see a humanoid person that doesn't look like a skeleton, and at the first glance is in very royal, like noble clothes. Like he looks like somebody from very high society, and he's in the cage. He's also, even if he's inside the cage, he has a lot of shackles, like shackle on like legs, on arms that are like shackles in the way that his arms like are up, and like his body is making an X. And with those rolls, you also, yeah, so he's like completely immobilized. And with those rolls, you don't need to be that close to also recognize that as he's looking humanoid, there's nothing to hide. His very pale skin and his crimson red eyes when he opens them, as almost feeling your approach.
Is he evil?
His alignment has part of evil, yes.
Okay. case we need to fight him, we can pop the buffs whenever we need.
What's that heal check for?
See whether he's
What
wounded.
kind of condition he's in?
He's a vampire.
He's fabulous.
I mean, that's a condition to be in, I suppose.
Yeah. I'm assuming that would need a religion to get all the way, but good enough.
yeah,
Yeah,
he's very
pale skin,
fabulous.
red eyes, and when
Yeah.
he like gives a small smile, you can almost see the fang in his teeth. And he's like, when he sees you, like maybe you're getting slightly closer, he's like, "Hello," and his voice. Also, he looks like mid-20s, but knowing that he's a vampire, he probably mid-20, like very light, almost like blonde hair. That's perfectly okay, maybe not perfectly, but is instead of this.
Perfectly shaved here underwater. Holy shit.
No, wait, it is in perfect state, even in underwater. It is.
It
God,
flows
God knows
magnificent.
how, but
What is his hair?
his hair is
Yeah.
perfectly fabulous.
Magnificent as fuck.
Yeah,
Here,
he,
I have an important question.
L'Oreal.
he gives like
needs him
very.
in
Without
their
any check,
lives.
he gives very.
I have an
strong-
important question.
He gives very strong feeling that he's a. He might be vampire, but he's also a noble, like royal descent.
If sunlight were to touch his skin, would his skin sparkle?
No, he's
Do
not.
we have
fan
to
of,
Okay.
kill him?
He's-
Because in that case, we'd have to kill him.
he's not fan
Yeah.
of the Twilight. He despises it. If he would knew about it.
Just otherwise, we'd have to like set him on fire
We
underwater.
would actually have to. Yes, we would have to do that. we would fry him using my electricity breath over and over and
No,
over again.
no, we would have to use fire underwater.
Yes.
Well, he's like, hello, and his voice is like extremely like, not feminine, but like soft and like fancy.
Hello, everyone.
No, not sounding absolutely.
I like
It's
to take walks.
been a long time since I had guests in here.
I like to take walk in the parks and watch the sunset.
Oh.
Nah, he's not really Alucard. And I had fucking hard time finding any good fan art of not anime vampire novel. If so, they were like females, and I wanted like male. Because I
What
had
about
enough females and-
Castlevania?
I forgot about that.
I think I just found heresy.
Okay, so John asks.
I found heresy, and it needs to be burned.
So he asked. So John asked him, "Who are you?" And he like. Normally he would try to tilt his head, but he also has like a shackle on his neck, so he can't even do that. And
Yeah,
You
that
can
makes
see
life
him
difficult.
You can see him straining to stretch his neck.
He is. Well, and he like I'm not sure, looking at the condition of the city, if that title still applies. But I believe I was, and technically I'm still first and for now only and last Lord Protector of the Night.
Oh, you're doing a fine job considering where you are now. I say underwater.
How long has he been here?
He like, Honestly, I don't have that many things to do in here, but I stopped counting after a few thousand.
Oh, 3,000.
Few thousand, not 3,000. Few thousand.
Oh, wow.
1, 2, 6, 19.
We've come here to try and... are we trying to turn on an area, or are we trying to turn off an area?
We're
Oh.
trying to turn him on.
Yep. Sadly, we have no female member of our party, so it's gonna make it a bit difficult. But with a bit of luck, he is into both sexes.
Jai, his hair is in perfect condition.
Trying to turn on some kind of
after thousands of years of underwater. I'm pretty sure we don't need a female member of the party.
Well,
I'm a dragon, so I'm fine. Also, I don't count
affect some kind of area. Like we're trying to turn on some kind of force field or something related to dragon. I'm really confused at this point.
Yeah,
what it is, what the hell we're doing.
I'm the group's resident dragon.
To be a cornerstone in a barrier protecting the island, but you know, we're here to break it.
Yeah, I ask him. I say, we're looking for a cornerstone of some kind. Do you know anything about that, Mr. Night Protector?
Fuck, now I need to think about his name. Because normally he was like, he was either called Lord Protector or...
That's what I call him. I say Lord Protector. We're looking... Do you know anything about this cornerstone?
And he like... No, he would try to like rub his temples to think, but obviously he can't move his hands. And he's like, so that time has come.
Yeah, it's here, and we're the guys.
We are the guys indeed.
Well, I believe not much destruction has happened to the city after it ruined. So the necessary things should be intact and should be where they were the last time.
Where's that?
But I'm afraid, if you like it or not, you will probably need me to actually complete the sequence. Also,
really? I'm sure we could figure it out.
This is legit. How I feel this is happening. I'm just staring blankly at John as he speaks in underwater speak, and while they are both like, so I have no idea what the fuck they're saying.
I look at Jai, and I sort of like do the I point at my eyes, and I sort of motion to his eyes, like I'm trying to get him to make eye contact. And then I point at the vampire. And then I like make a hand symbol, like the cornerstone, like I'm holding the cornerstone.
Mm-hmm.
That's like the signaling that I give to the rest of the party.
So in other words, you start making charades instead of talking with us, hoping that we'll understand what you're trying to say.
Yeah, I'm like pointing to him, and then I'm gesturing the stone. Like I'm holding a stone in my hands.
Baby, no. Child, no. Squirrel, I have nothing.
Two words. First word. Vampire.
I feel like this should have a sense motive roll.
Lord Protector looks extremely amused. Extremely amused.
Is 35 good enough to play charades?
My sense motive sucks donkey dick, so I know nothing.
You need to use your bluff.
Good enough to... Is it? That he wants us to get rid of the cornerstone?
No, that's not what he meant at all.
35 is a pretty good insight. I'm not trying to hide it. I'm just trying to show him.
It's legit. Like for charades, I think the DC is like 20 or something.
I ask Lord Protector Vampire if he would show us the way, and if he was interested. Yeah, show us the way, senpai. And if he's if he's willing to, we would like to afterwards take him up to the surface.
And then
By the way,
the guy just starts saying like, "I can show you a world."
Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey.
Splendid. Tell me, princess, now when did you last let your heart decide?
Anyway, what is the...
A whole new world.
Yeah.
We all break out into song underwater.
Suddenly this turned into a fucking Bollywood movie.
Yes.
Okay, so what are you trying to charade? What do you want Jai or me, since I can understand you, to do?
That's vampire.
Well, I'm just showing you guys that we need him for the cornerstone.
Okay, can I
what I'd like to do is for a real quick second search my mind to see whether or not that's true, Dungeon Master. Is that true that we need him, or do we believe? Do we believe him?
You believe that you need him.
Okay, yeah. So Jai and the rest of the party, right? I'm pointing at the guy. Make the stone gesture, and then I say to the guy, I say all that stuff. I say, "Would you mind showing us where it is?"
Well, you certainly offered...
Telepathy 60 feet.
Yeah, so you exactly hear what he's saying, because he's not really moving his... yeah, he's not exactly moving his lips, but you hear him saying exactly what he's saying. Because he's telepathic.
What does he say, though? We're trying to get him to show us the way.
Yeah, so... Well, that's certainly nice incentive, Mr.
My name is, John.
Yes, Mr. John. And...
I'm also long and silver.
Yes.
I look at John and shrug.
I gesture, don't worry about it, I got this. We're gonna get this done real quick.
I point at the cage.
Point at the cage.
Then I point at my sword, then back at the cage.
You can
I rub my I like run my hand back and forth under my chin. Like, hang on, don't kill. No.
Look at your cage.
No, not him, like the cage.
Sadly, that cage is not me.
I'm going to try to put the cage in a different dimension to free him.
Just cut up your arm.
He's not in the cage, though.
He is.
Yeah, they said he was in a cage.
He is, and shackled, and the cage is like full of runes. And when he probably feels something, so he looks at you, and if you like, all of you hear.
Oh,
what
you're
he's
freeing
saying.
him. Okay.
So so you hear him saying, I wouldn't try that yet. The magic here is not exactly stable.
How do we get you out of here?
That's the best part. It's supernatural.
I'm pretty sure they have restrictions against it.
Yeah, I'll point at our bard. Say, do you wait, we can't communicate verbally.
He sighs and he speaks telepathically to all of you, as he previously was speaking to all of you, so all of you can hear him. Mind if I answer, or are you not interested in that?
My friends like to talk a lot. How do we solve this problem?
Yes, even as I would prefer to leave that cage, being not able to stretch myself for a couple thousand years is kinda irritating, but on the other hand, I learned the secret of keeping my hair absolutely flawless, but let's not focus on that.
It is true.
And before you begin the procedure of freeing me, there is, well, the entire thing regarding my predicament and your current situation and what we apparently have to do.
Why is no one questioning why he's locked up? Just asking that.
We know that it's for a good reason, but we're trying to get this.
I'm going to assume it's something to do with being a vampire.
No, I'm saying we know that he is locked up for a good reason.
I'm assuming the reason has something to do with him being a vampire.
I mean, the thing is, assumptions never end well. So let's not assume, and let's actually ask the fucker why he's locked up.
Remember, telepathic contact, you can ask him telepathically because that's how it works.
This is what I said, like, in character. Why are we not, like, why is no one asking why he's actually locked up?
So he gives, like he was saying, and he stops, and he chuckles. I was actually wondering that myself. So, what do you want to know, Mr. Dragon?
Why are you locked up?
To the point.
That's an interesting story. That's connected to, I guess, because the cycle is happening again. That is connected to also, let me guess, your enemies too?
Descriptive. Thank you.
Yes. So, the thing was that he starts thinking. I believe it will be just simpler to say, like, my current predicament kinda connects to what happened to the city itself. So, I think you might get some answers if I just tell it all the way, like from the beginning to the end. It won't take long. I think your spell should be still active, and even if it's not...
I think we have like 6 more hours. We'll be fine.
Even if it's not...
And I can just recast it, so
yeah,
I don't see any issues.
I don't
worst case scenario.
I don't think that...
We die and come back to life.
And then die again.
Yes,
again,
I kinda knew that. One immortal to another, we kinda...
Yeah.
know when we meet one another.
I mean, that's kind of creepy, but okay.
And he's not immortal because he's a vampire, not only. So basically, he begins a tale that back when the first cities on Dragon Island were settled, the first rulers made a pact with several lawful evil races to actually create a special city for them, which was called Dragonnight. And that city was like a sanctuary for like not chaotic races, but mischievous like vampires and probably others that are not hell-bent on world annihilation destruction and can have their quirks and can, on the certain incentive, like cooperate and actually do stuff. And he also mentions that one of the reasons they like cooperated was back then they knew that about the threat of the gods and the cycles, so it was reasonable that both sides, even if their methods differ, to actually cooperate and make sure the island, at least the island, will be able to like survive oncoming storms. And luck has it, other races had a lot of power, but after all, nobody knows how to acquire power above all than those whom you call evil. But evil is such a black and white world, and we are not living in a black and white world. At least I didn't. And he also continues that because this place was one of the focal points of the ley lines of the island, it was pivotal in the defense of the island. But sadly enough, after all, in all like herds, you find a black sheep, and this, in this case, even blacker. Somebody wanted to usurp the power, take it all for himself. And
and
that correlated with the cycle, the end of the world incoming. He like gives maybe some more details, but what happened is that with the magical clusterfuck and the release of power, they managed to actually put enough power for the island to survive and their inhabitants live on, but the city itself collapsed underwater, and that wouldn't be really much of a problem if they were given time to like recuperate and evolve to really I'm forgetting the word. To be able to thrive and survive in the new environment. Sadly, almost immediately after that, it turned out that one guy wasn't the only problem that we had, and some, I guess, deep cover agents of our mutual enemies destroyed the rest of the defenses of the city, slaughtered whoever they were able to slaughter. And me, who was gifted the true immortality, they made sure to close me up in here for a long time, and then made sure that this place would not be easy to find.
What is the secret to your chamber?
What chamber?
How do we get you out of there?
Thankfully, the time takes a strain on every spell, even the permanent one. So, if you are good with disarming traps and also good with like dispelling magic, you might be able to methodically take them one by one. And he like gives by the name because I didn't create the character, but think along the lines that he's definitely like level 20 magical guy or something, sorcerer or some shit. So perhaps try. Dispel magic might be good on some of them, but Mage Disjunction, for example, should do the trick for most of the stuff. Or Anti-Magic Field.
Check my repertoire.
You said this thing is attached to the ground. How?
It's nailed. Like, it's almost like melted together.
It's bolted.
Yeah, bolted and like goes into the ground.
Hey Jai, you should try to pick it up. What's your strength again?
Well, Ego has 53 strength? 56 strength.
Dispel the spells first, you don't want to blow them up.
Yep.
True, I guess.
The thing is with Ego is he doesn't care if he's blown up.
I was just saying, like...
Before you do that, let me cast a spell real quick.
I say we should figure out what the spells they are to see if they can be moved.
Pretty much. Let's not take unnecessary risks.
If they can, then let's just pick up the cage and take it with us, if we can't dispel them.
Yup.
Obviously, the people who made the traps were smart enough, so they like made especially sure that all sorts of transportation are impossible.
Oh yeah,
I know what you guys are trying to do, and I think we're in a situation where we're just gonna have to manage the risk of letting him out. If we try and like bring the cage with us, that's gonna just be a huge waste of time.
Yeah, I don't think I could take a 20 on.
I meant if we couldn't get him out.
Yeah.
What's that?
I meant if we couldn't get him out, take the cage with us.
I can get rid of the runes, and then is somebody here a rogue of some kind?
We have a bard that's good at that stuff, I think.
I don't think
I have any. I mean, what are you talking about? I never stolen anything. Don't look at me.
I extend my hands, and a blue light will. I just wash this cage in a blue light, and I cast anti-magic field at level 8.
Nice. The field of anti-magic.
Yeah, it's a field of anti-magic. It's basically or is it an anti-field of magic? We don't know. But Invisible barrier, impervious to most magical effects, surrounds you and moves with you. So it's like a huge sphere, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And then it should just... I don't know, do magic spells have saves? I don't know.
Some do, some don't.
Like, the vampire was the one who said anti-magic field,
yes.
man. I know. I have
just randomly gonna roll a few things.
Okay, one second. Or, like, there's some really strange sounds in the house, so I'll be OB.
Just randomly roll some things. They don't actually matter.
Yeah.
Or so he wants
He's deciding whether or not he wants to blow us up.
Those are some low rolls.
Don't say that out loud. Uh-oh.
Okay, so so nobody is trying to steal anything from your house?
What?
He's not back yet. I don't think.
I'm back. No one tries to steal anything from me, don't worry.
That would suck. Okay, so you see that majority of the runes on the cage itself disappear, but then you realize that you see the one last one beneath his feet on the floor of the cage that is impervious to anti-magic field. And he says, well, as I mentioned, that field did a good job, so I think now would be just a simple thing to rip out apart the cage or pick lock the locks. But before you do that, just one fair warning. Before you do that, that symbol beneath me, I've gotten a little bit rusty over the days. I'm pretty sure this thing connects to much more complex set of arrays and ley lines, which in case I get free and this is still active, it begins a procedure of some sorts. Probably make sure whatever is here cannot be reactivated at all. So self-destruction mechanism of the entire city. Don't ask me why they didn't do that in the first place. It's the same mystery for me as it's for you. Who knows, maybe they thought this will be useful for them in some future, but the case is, you still might try to disable it if you have somebody good with the traps. It's just the matter of trigger, I guess.
Okay, so I'm going to ask the Dungeon Master very quickly a question. I'm sorry that I have to keep asking these, but I'm so far behind on all this, and I'm not fully clear. The cornerstone is here in the city.
The city itself, overall, the city itself can be seen as cornerstone, and in the city itself to be activated as cornerstone, there's a procedure and several cornerstones of the city.
But we're trying to destroy it.
No, we're trying to fix it.
Yeah, you try to fix it.
That was a mistake by me.
So we need him to fix it, but if we get him, then we destroy the cornerstone.
Without disabling the trap, which you still might try to do.
Yeah, I'm going to point at the bard underwater, point at him, and then I do the scissors hand gesture, and then I point at the contraption that's rigged to this fabulous vampire.
Blood.
That's the thing, I will even make it canon. If somebody asks him for his preference, he would say, my rule is that I don't like to limit myself on anything.
No one here is interested in that, but...
Nope. Well, I suppose you could say that.
Yeah, but, I'm sorry, I can only speak for myself, and I don't care. Genkiro, you have to solve this problem.
Yeah.
You. Lovely sounds.
Like, Jai could just write stuff in the stone.
Yup. I can do many things.
What's your strength?
My strength, ego strength is 56. My strength is 42.
Okay.
God,
yeah,
56.
Well, a long time. Traps such as this, it takes you like at least 1 hour.
Yeah, that's no problem.
So he's going to take 20 and add his... It's 20 plus your
which will be
disable
enough,
device.
Which will be enough. It just takes like an hour. And like in the meantime, like the guy is completely positive look on his face, and he's like probably trying to engage you in some chit chat and small talk.
To which you cannot really respond. Well, I guess you can.
Telepathic. Remember about that. When he connects like telepathically, you can do the same even if you don't have telepathy. I'm pretty sure I'm just spelling that wrong, but whatever.
So we've solved that problem. Is that what you said?
Yeah, after an hour, the entire contraption, shackles, and whatnot are gone, and the Lord Protector of Dragonnight like steps out, like takes a one good long stretch, and of course there's no loot, absolutely no loot.
Yep.
He takes one long stretch. He's like cracks his neck. He's like.
Are we all dead?
Bones.
He's just gonna kill us all and leave.
He like makes a few sit-ups.
Sit-ups.
Thank you. Like it is really good to finally be able to actually move your body in some manner.
You're welcome. Now let's after you've sort of stretched out a little bit and done some aerobics, let's go to the to fix the cornerstone.
Of course. As you are going, just out of curiosity, tell me, can you be seen as representatives of the Dragon Island cities?
Close enough.
Sure.
Because I will be, assuming this works and the Dragonnight will have a chance to be restored to its former glory, I would be interested in renewing the pact that the first rulers did.
Well,
I mean,
as long as it doesn't involve exchanging of blood.
Listen to me.
No.
We're not exactly the official representatives, but we can take you to them as long as you can fix this.
You have access to them. Perfect. That's all I will need.
We did let a reformed succubus join us, so why not a vampire?
We still don't know about that succubus. Well, John doesn't.
Well, she speaking of her, she over the past weeks she was opening more and more and like living normal life, so to speak. And probably if somebody's not stalking her but observing her and making sure what she's doing, she's kinda spending a lot of time with Vanetta. If somebody doesn't remember, that's the female barbarian in the party from where Ramus came.
Oh yeah, I remember her.
Yeah, so
Intimately.
Succubus spends a lot of time. They get along quite nice. Anyways, but speaking of blood, I'm afraid, seeing that one of the race was vampires in the city, some